took a big chunk out of it.
Bleeding. It's bleeding.
Oh no, it's bleeding. The thing just ripped my ear off. What do you think?
Hello, everyone, and welcome along to the third Eddie and Stevo, the podcast of 2021. Gosh, it seems ages since we last did one of these. And again, we are minus the grand old boy himself. But we will be putting that to rights later in the week, all being well, when Stevo will be joining us from Australia. Yes, he's still over there to begin our weekly podcasts during the 2021 season. I trust you're all safe and well, and if you are eligible for your vaccinations and you've had at least one jab, well, if that's the case, we're well on the road to recovery after this awful last 12 months. Now then, in January, you may remember, I spoke at length to Kevin Sinfield. Last month, it was Lee Breers. This time, I wondered how I could possibly beat that. Well, the solution was obvious. I thought, let's go right to the very top. And I am delighted to welcome to the podcast the national coach of our game, the former Wigan Supremo, Shaun Wane. Shaun, thank you so much for joining me and taking time out of what I'm sure is a busy schedule. First of all, on a personal level, how are you doing? How have you been coping these past 12 months during this COVID pandemic?
Hi, Eddie. It's good to speak to you again. Thanks for having me on. To be honest, Eddie, it's been tough. You know, I've not coached my team for over 12 months, and I've been in regular contact with them on Zoom, with meetings, showing them footage. The players have been great, the clubs have been great, but losing the Ashes last year and not getting the players together because of COVID is nobody else's fault. It's been very, very difficult for me because as you know, I'm a very hands-on coach and I'm very comfortable on the field with the players or in the video room with the players, and but it's not to be. And I'm a very optimistic person, and I try to make the best of everything. And the best thing I can do is make sure that the players get the message about what it needs to take to be an England player and what we need to do to win a World Cup. And that's the message they've been getting over the last 12 months. Yeah,
I'm sure you're very, very focused on what's to come. You were appointed in February last year. We all know what's happened after that. As you say, the Ashes series was called off in 2020. I've seen you on the telly at dozens of matches throughout last year, checking on the players, keeping in touch with them. But that must be so frustrating for you, not to get out there on the field with them.
I don't know how to explain this, Eddie, but I miss the stress of having to win games, you know, and hopefully things are turned a corner, things are getting better. And we can look forward to getting the players together in April and then onwards and upwards then for the World Cup.
Absolutely. Look, we'll talk about your hopes to get back on the field with your players shortly and prepare for that World Cup, because it's obvious that's what you love to do and you're the best at. But first of all, let's just look back briefly at your own career and flipping heck, where do we start? You spent just about all your rugby life in Wigan, didn't you? Apart from a couple of spells away with Leeds and then briefly at Workington. But first and foremost, if we cut you in two, you would see the name Wigan written right the way through the middle of you. You had 30-year association with that club, didn't you?
It's in my blood, being at Wigan for many, many years and playing the amateur rugby in Wigan. You know, it's I've had some great times. It's been a great game to me. My body's broken. I've broken every bone in my face. I've had over 20 operations on my knee, and you know it's a tough physical game, but it's given me everything. Every friend I've got, including yourself, Eddie, I've met through this great game, and that's why I appreciate it and I love it so much. And I find it frustrating. You know, I watched games last year, unbelievably high quality games with high quality athletes, and I feel like we don't tell enough people about it. It's like we're trying to keep it secret, and that's what I find frustrating. So, being from Wigan, coaching, playing, being involved, it's but first and foremost, I'm a rugby league man. You know, I love watching the game, but playing for my hometown club, when you consider where I started, it was a dream. And to have 10 years at Wigan, win a few trophies, and then end up head coaching my team, of my own team, and to win a few trophies, then it's I've been very, very lucky. But I've also worked hard as well.
Oh, you have. There's no question of that. And I mean, man of the match in the '87 World Club Challenge win against Manly at Central Park. You won league titles, Challenge Cups, John Player trophies, Premiership trophies. You're a Great Britain international yourself. You plenty of highlights during your playing career. What do you think was the best?
I said the Manly game when we won the World Club Challenge against Manly in '87. That was an unbelievable feat. I don't know who we beat the weekend before. We played Manly on the Wednesday, then we played the Lancashire Cup final on the Sunday at St Helens. So it was a tough all period, and we won it. So it was a real hard-nosed Wigan team where it was win at all costs. Every time we trained, it was fearless. And when I've been head coaching the teams, they've always asked me about what that team was like in the 80s. And the only way I can describe that was just the ultimate competitive, nose win at all cost team. And that's the way we did weights, that's the way we trained, and we won trophies on the back of it. So, and that's what I tried to create as a coach at Wigan.
You retired as a player in '94. Were you always going to go into coaching, Shaun, once you hung your playing boots up?
Yeah, I was. I started coaching when I was 25. When I was playing at Wigan, I was going out to the community and coaching in schools, and I got the bug. Just for the bug, the thing what I really, really enjoyed was seeing players what weren't that good, boys and girls, what weren't that good, improve. Just improve slightly. And that was something I really, really liked. And then when I finished playing, I was coaching at St Pat's. I never thought I would actually do it full time, even though I had a passion for it and I knew I could kill it. I was confident in my ability, but I had a good job. I was working in construction and as a key account manager. And then I just started going down to Wigan and working with a scholarship, and I just got the bug then just for seeing that improvement. Not always the star players, just players what not that good, seeing them improve and see them improve socially with the group. People what weren't that popular, but they got better at the skills, and it made them more popular in the group. And that sort of thing really appealed to me. And then I started coaching the juniors then in the late 90s, and the rest is history.
It is. You scouted for Wigan, as you say. You brought the young players through at the academy level. Your assistant in 2009. Then you got your big break in 2011. You were named head coach of your hometown club. And already we can hear the fierce pride in your voice. You regard that as your dream job so far, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. It was unbelievably emotional to me to come home to my family and to announce that I was head coach, because where I come from, I was that far off ever playing for Wigan and that far off ever being head coach. People would say it was impossible. So people can't say that to me now. That you can't do it. It's impossible, because I proved that anything's possible. And the chance to play and head coach my own club was an absolute dream. Wigan people are a bit different. We're a very, very proud town, and you look at what Owen Fowler's doing for England Rugby Union, some of the legends of sport what come from Wigan. We're a very proud sporting town. So for me to walk out to Old Trafford and lead my team out, walk out to Wembley and to win a World Club Challenge at our stadium at the DW was a very, very proud moment for me.
Yeah, 3 grand final wins in all, 2 Challenge Cups, the 2 World Club Challenge successes. You can look back and you say you did your job. It's not a bad haul, is it?
Yeah, when I won them things, Eddie, I was happy, but I will never ever be satisfied. I always want more. I want to do things better. And that's the way I'll always be. I'll always have that hunger to improve and to do it better. And even though we won a double in early in my career as a coach, I never won all 3, and that frustrates me. And some people might not get frustrated for that, but I do get frustrated about that. And it's just in my makeup. But so whilst I'm happy, I love winning trophies and winning World Cup challenges. I enjoy the night, and then the day after, it's what's next? How do we get better?
Well, they used to say on an old quiz show, I remember in the black and white days, you're far too young to remember this, Shaun, 2 out of 3 and you're all set. I mean, to win 2 of the 3 trophies available in 1 year is fantastic, and you achieved that. And what's more, you went out at the very, very top of the coaching tree. You were named the 2018 Super League Coach of the Year. That was just the last stamp, really, on the passport, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was very touching because that was voted by all my fellow coaches, and I think they were glad to see the back of me. I was a pain in the ass. Yeah, to get that was very, very touching. That meant a lot. And when I sat down and all the coaches come over at the dinner and shook me hand and said nice things, it was very, very touching. That I really appreciated it, and the week after we had the grand final, so it was a great week for us.
It was a great week for the club. It was a great week for you personally. But after that grand final, and you'd announced it before the match, you decided you were going to call it a day. And I remember we did a very special programme together on the eve of that final.
Yeah.
You said then it was 100% your decision to move on. A lot of people, me included, just simply couldn't believe you were going.
If anybody listening to this can imagine what their dream job is, they probably won't have it. I had it, and I resigned from it. And it was my honest call. It was me what instigated it, and but it was right for the club. It was right for me. I ended it in the right way, and by winning the grand final, leaving the club in good shape. And it's just what happens. It's just life, and I had some great years there, and I've moved on to other things now. And, I've got my own business, and I'm coaching my national team. And there couldn't be a more patriotic, prouder man than me.
Oh, I know that. And you've got it in bundles. But you did take the part-time role with Scottish Rugby Union, didn't you?
Yeah.
What exactly was your role up there? And do you take any pride from what has happened in the Six Nations this year from your time there?
I had a few different roles in that short year. I had they couldn't really nail how they could get the best out of me. I met some wonderful people up there, some really, really good people. I also found it very, very, very frustrating because I didn't have a chance to put my stamp on with my knowledge about league and union and lines of running and technique and detail. I didn't get a chance to do that. I was there for 12 months, and I was looking at moving up there and taking a 3-year contract up there full time. The year when I worked there was only 2 days a week. So I was in the process of moving up there full time, delivering a programme all over Scotland. And then England come knocking, and I realised I'm a rugby league man, and I could not turn that down.
Oh, of course you couldn't. I mean, the top job, that programme again in October 2018, I asked you if you'd ever be back, and you said, well, if something happens in rugby league, I'll have a look at it. How long did it take you to decide to take the England job? I imagine a second.
So it was about a week, never slept a wink for a week because I was that excited to get the job, and because I knew I could make a difference. And so I got the job, and then disaster struck, which is unbelievably unlucky, but it's just the way it is.
It is. We've had to live through it. We're coming out the other end, please God. Yeah. I know a lot of people, me included, are absolutely delighted that you're in post as the national coach. I know we have a great British Bulldog in charge of our national side. What we've already heard on this today, you are a fiercely patriotic man, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Very proud of my country, very, very proud Wiganer, very proud Englishman, and the players, I think we've lost it a bit, Eddie, to be honest. The players will understand when we get together what it means to be playing for our country, what a great nation we are, the history we've got, and they will understand. We will get a very proud team starting the World Cup campaign in October, and that's mine and the staff's job to make sure the players understand that.
I've got no doubts about that whatsoever. Can I ask you one slightly controversial question, Shaun?
Yeah.
Will an Australian-born player, okay, he's got all the necessary credentials, of course, but will he ever get in your England team?
No. Englishmen will play for England, and I want to win or lose that way, and I don't mean that in a negative way at all. I think the Australians, what we've got over here, are fantastic players. But I don't want to be second pick as a country. I want real, honest, passionate Englishmen playing for our country, and that's the way I want our success. And if it doesn't turn out that way, then I'll bite the bullet and take it. But that's the way I honestly feel, and an art, and I can't pretend any other way.
I anticipated that would be the answer. 100%. Well said. Now then, other nationalities coming up later in the summer. Your first game as preparation for this World Cup. I bet you can't wait, can you?
No, I can't. I've got the players together on the field in April. I've got a video meeting with them, and then on the field. So I'm looking forward to that first nailing. I'm doing that this morning. I've been up to 6 just planning that session, and then we've got the All Stars game then in June. So I'm really, really pumped, looking forward to that. Just a competitive game, and see how our players go, and see the information we've drip fed to them over the last few months has had an effect, and that's the most important thing to me.
Good. And then hopefully full steam ahead to October and the World Cup here in the UK. Heart of heart, Shaun, hand on heart, it's going to take place, isn't it? It is going to happen, the World Cup, surely.
It's going to happen. My motto is start with the end, and the end is a World Cup final. And what do we need to do? What do I need to do as head coach? What does Paul Wellens and Andy Lass, what do the players need to do? And we all need to work very, very hard. The fact is, when we get to World Cup in October, the finals in November, we need to be very good to win that game. We need to play really, really well consistently for quite a few games. So the message to the players is about consistency, fitness levels, concentration levels, understanding the detail what England are about, and that's what we've been hammering into the players for the last few months, and the players seem to have responded unbelievably well to it.
Fantastic. And here's the $64,000 question: can we win it this time?
Yeah, I'm sure we can. We have to work harder than anybody else, make sure our players are prepared, and the fact is that you look at the player depth in Australia and New Zealand they've got some talent. Samoa, Tonga, really, really strong nations, and many others. So we need to be very good. So that has been the consistent message, is about the players making sure they can play to that international standard when they're playing Super League. That's the only way we can challenge them when it comes to October.
Well, the new domestic season gets underway this week. It's 25 years, Shaun, since the first ever night in Paris. 25 years. Where have they gone?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and it's been fantastic, and you played a massive part of that, Eddie, and we miss the way you're calling games, and but it's been a dream. Over the years we've had some unbelievably exciting games, and I'm very proud of our sport, and I know you are, Eddie.
Yes.
I just feel we need to tell more people about it, not keep it a secret. There's a game, and I keep going on and on about it. There's a game last year, Wigan and Saints. Ball in play, 63 minutes. First 23 minutes, no penalties, no errors. There's not a sport in the world, and I mean ice hockey, NFL. There's not a sport in the world could do that.
And look, I also know that the rivalry between you Wiganers and the Saints, always intense, respectful but intense.
Yeah.
How did you feel that night when the siren sounded, the ball from Makinson's drop goal attempt hit the top of the post, and Jack Wellsby touched down to win the grand final? How on earth did you feel?
Yeah, that was tough, because I'm born and bred Wigan. It was tough, but I could see it happening. I saw how he chased that kick, and that sort of effort what he put in there when it was, there was no way he could score that try, and he never gave in. He just kept on chasing. I'm thinking this could end up a disaster. I never thought it would genuinely happen, but it did. But I think fair play
Yeah.
to him, Jack Wellsby, doing that effort to chase that ball, what was definitely going to get caught and run out, kicked out, and he never gave in. So credit to him and credit to Saints for sticking in there at the end.
It was an incredible moment at the end of an incredible year. Nobody apart from us and the people at Sky and the people who watch on Sky, nobody in the greater nation knows who the hell Jack Wellsby is.
No.
He should be a national hero after that.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that happening in the NFL? And it takes me a long time to watch a game because I'm replaying it, and it takes me a long time because I'm looking at the detail of what would coach it and what I would do and what I would deliver at half time. So to stop it and watch him how hard he chased right at the start. When you look back at that, the effort from some of the Saints players, you look at some of the stats, and it was, you got two fit teams was really going at it. But the fact is, Eddie, some of the stats, the GPS stats, what really matter, we need to go 3 times more effort, 3 times more energy, 3 times quicker for a test match. That's what test matches deliver to you. So my message to the players is you don't want to get to October and it be a huge step up for a test game against Samoa in our first game at Newcastle. You need to make sure you're ready, conditioned, ready for that game. And the players are great. They've listened to us. The clubs have listened to us, been really supportive, and it's made me feel proud that the support I've had from the head coach and the CEOs individually at clubs.
That's great. Does it worry you the fact that we start the World Cup campaign 2 weeks after the season? I mean, that gives you a decent spell to get on top of the players, but they're going to be exhausted after a long, hard domestic season. It's coming right on the back of a busy time. It
is a disadvantage. There's no question. I can't dress it up anyway, and I'm having the All-Stars game on a weekend when everybody's playing. That's a disadvantage. I wanted a standalone fixture to give us a chance to get a strong team out. That's not happened. Every week from Christmas, we've just knocked off sessions where we couldn't get the players together. So every month we're losing time with the players, which makes our Zoom sessions more and more important. But every nation's going through the same process, Eddie. It's not just us. Everybody's finding it tough. And we just need to find a way to make sure our players are prepared really well. So whilst it's not ideal, you won't get any excuses from us. It's we just need to work really hard, really smart, more importantly, and just make sure the players are ready. Indeed, and you will use the cards you're dealt. As I say, it starts this weekend. Wigan, Saints, Leeds, obviously, Warrington. Inevitably, they'll be the bookies' favourites again. Do you see any dark horses out there, Shaun? Yeah, I think Huddersfield will be strong. They've made some good signings, and Ian Watson's got in there, which will change things, and they've kept hold of Luke Robinson, and I like the roster they've got. They've got some good players, and I can see them challenging. That would be interesting if they do. It's been fantastic chatting to you again. There are 2 big jobs, of course, vacant in Super League at the moment. I just wonder if you have got any interest after the World Cup is all over and you've won it and it's in the cabinet. I just wonder if you've got any interest in the future. You're a young man. You're 56, for goodness sake. Yeah. Any interest getting back to the day-to-day stresses and strains of coaching at club level again? At the minute, I've got the dream of coaching my national team in a World Cup, and that's my only focus. But once that's over, I've got another year with the RFL, and I love this job. I love working with Ralph. He's been really, really good for me. But I want to coach the Super League again, and I'm open. Do you? Yep, definitely. I'd love to go to the NRL because I know I could do a job over there. It probably won't happen. I don't know if it will or not. But I've still got. If you win the World Cup, it will. If you win the World Cup, they'll be queuing up for you. Yeah. So fingers crossed I can do that. But I've still got ambitions. I want to win more things. I want to test myself in other clubs. So I'm quite open to that.
Good man, good man. Well, I'll tell you what, you love Australia because I know you love the sunshine as well, don't you?
Yeah, I love it.
You always had a nice suntan on that gantry at Wigan. I don't know where you ever got it from. I think it must have come off a sunbed, didn't it? The sun doesn't shine that often in Wigan, does it?
That was blood pressure off the red wine at weekends.
I can imagine. Yeah. I can imagine. Sure, that's a great way to finish. And as I say, fabulous to catch up with you again. It's been a delight. Thank you for being so generous with your time. And when October, November comes round, I can't wish you more luck for ending all those years of World Cup frustration for us. All being well, the podcast returns later this week for a Super League season preview with Stevo. Until then, from me for now, it's goodbye.